Last year, my mom and I discovered that my dad had been having an affair for more than 4 years. In those 4 years, he missed birthday parties for his kids. He wasn't there when I was in the hospital because of my heart condition, or when my little brother had appendicitis. Apparently, he showed up at his affair partner's kids' birthday parties. He even skipped my 16th birthday for one of her kids' 5th birthday party. The truth came out after we found them together. My younger siblings were at school. Mom and I were having a Mom Sunday, and when we got home, the two of them were together. In the whole explosion of arguing, it came out that Dad had been there for her kids more than us since the affair started, and that he was with her when he wasn't with us. He even faked 2 business trips and actually spent the whole time with them. One of those was when I was in the hospital, and he still chose to stay, saying that the business trip was essential for him to keep his job. I ended my relationship with my dad there and then. But then he showed up at my birthday party last week with his affair partner and her kids. He was not invited, but had asked my younger sister about it. I told them to leave. They argued about their presence there, saying that we were a family. I said they were not my family, and I didn't want them there. His affair partner tried to defend my father, and that's when I told him he should have been with his kids instead of cheating with her and playing dad to her kids when we were sick or when we had parties, etc. All my siblings were so mad to learn this too. My father and most of his family are angry at me for exposing the affair as I did. They said I acted like a child instead of an adult and that it was private and shouldn't be aired for all to hear. Am I the idiot? Didn't he expose his own affair by coming to your birthday party with his other family? What kind of narcissistic BS is that? As if he was going to force you to accept them. His side of the family defending him only shows why he thinks that would even remotely be okay. Not the idiot. Screw all of them. He had the absolute gall to bring the woman he cheated with to your party? And for her to defend him? You had every right to say what you said, instead of being angry at how you handled it. But you handled it pretty well. His family should be angry at their lying, adulterous idiot of a son for bailing out on his own family and only finally showing up to an event with the homewrecker. His family is just angry because now he's an embarrassment to them. I'm so sorry you, your mom, and your siblings are going through this. That's a huge betrayal, and you've every right to cut them off. If they didn't want their affair exposed, they should have had the good grace to lay low and not try to force their way into your party or life. The fact that he brought the other woman and her kids? Mind-boggling. Absurd. Tone deaf in the extreme. I hope you and your family can heal without them, as they don't deserve to be in your life. So I, 30 male, have a preschool son with my best friend, Samantha, 31 female. It's important to provide the context here, so I will try my best to explain it. Samantha and I met in college and instantly became really good friends. She's a super outgoing person, while I tend to be a little more on the quiet side, which worked perfectly for our dynamic and has made co-parenting easy. We never had any feelings for each other. I did a little bit, but was so far into the friend zone at that point, it didn't matter. So 5 years ago, Samantha had just got cheated on by her longtime college boyfriend. She was staying at my place for the time being. We were hanging out one night like usual and drinking. I couldn't even tell you how it happened, but somehow we ended up being intimate. The next morning she was gone with all her stuff and told me she was moving in with her dad. She completely ghosted me for 2 months. During this time, I got in a bad state, quit taking care of myself, and gained at least 70 pounds. I was drinking far too much. Well, as you can tell, she got pregnant. I did a paternity test first thing. Kid's mine. We decided to keep the baby and co-parent. It has honestly been the best decision of my life. I love my kid, and our friendship has gotten back to normal. Sam and I and our kid frequently hang out together and have no custody agreement. Regarding dating, Sam casually sees someone, but I don't really ask about it. So the past year, I've rededicated myself to myself. I've lost a lot of weight this past year and quit drinking. It's been fantastic for my health. I've started seeing someone I met on an app, and we're getting pretty serious. So last weekend, Samantha had our son, and I took a day trip to hike with my girlfriend. I posted a selfie with her on Instagram and was immediately called by Samantha, grilling me on who that was. I explained that I was seeing someone. She asked if she had met our son yet, and I said yes, but they don't spend much time around each other because mostly it's just whenever my girl stays the night. Sometimes my son will see her around the house. Samantha lost it. She was calling me a piece of crap for not informing her and not telling her what was going on in my life. I responded, kind of like you did when you ghosted our friendship. She just called me an idiot and hung up. My sister thinks I was the idiot, but I don't think I'm obligated to inform her of all my life's happenings. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot, and the fact that you need to be told shows you have minimal, if any, respect for her as your child's mother. She deserves to know who's around her child, and trying to act like the issue is her dating is comical. Can't stand selfish parents like this. Agree. Some things change if a child is involved, because untold things can lead to psychological harm. And it seems to me she was upset not that you're dating someone, but that you presented your girlfriend to the child without warning the mother first. And that can be the cause of problems, especially in a case of shared custody. Going against the grain, to say not the idiot. If she isn't introducing you to her guys around your child, you don't have to either. However, your relationship is about to get volatile, so get prepared. I'm betting she has enjoyed having you solo as a friend and never expected you to date. She sees you as a safety net. This chick may be a good friend, but she's got poor control over her emotions. An adult with good emotional regulation doesn't ghost an old friend for 2 months, or lie into their ex for being an ex and dating other people. He isn't obligated to tell her anything. She's just jealous. OP, you need to see a lawyer and make sure your custody claims are solid, and to firm up your custody agreement. I'm a 19-year-old female, and my stepsister is 20. My dad married her mom, stepmom, 3 years ago. They dated for 3 years before they got married. My mom died when I was 8. My grandma had this beautiful necklace that has been in the family since they immigrated from Italy about 3 generations ago. It was given to her by her mom, and so on. My grandma passed a few years ago, and so the necklace was given to my dad since she disowned his other siblings. So all my life, I was told that the necklace goes to the oldest child, usually the daughter, and is given when they're 20. Well, my stepsister turned 20 last week, and one of the gifts was obviously my grandma's necklace from my dad. Not going to lie, I lost my temper. My stepmom was all for it, saying that it unites us as a family, and it's good to merge family traditions. I told her that merging family traditions applies to making cookies at Christmas, not giving away familial ties that are not in her bloodline. My dad's defense is that he's following the rules. She's the oldest, and she turned 20, so she should have it. My stepsister and I get on okay enough to have dinner together once a week, but she loves material things. So obviously, when a pretty diamond necklace gets put in her hand, she'll die before she lets go of it. So 2 days ago, before I left to study abroad, I went into my stepsister's room while she was at a party and stole the necklace back. So now I'm in Germany, and my phone has been blowing up from my dad, stepsister, and stepmom. They're basically saying that I'm a brat, and I need to give the necklace back before I get disowned. Am I the idiot? Edit. My dad did not adopt my stepsister. She only lived with us during the summer, 3 months, since her bio dad has shared custody and had her during the school year when we were in high school. Still, since she's an adult, she was prepping to move back to her hometown with her bio dad permanently. She stayed with us for one last summer for a few months. My grandma didn't know my stepsister. She died when my dad and stepmom started dating. I should have said this earlier, but my grams told me that once she was braiding my hair, that the heirloom would look beautiful with my wedding gown when I got married. So that's also what motivated me to get it back. Not the idiot. Stepsister isn't your grandma's blood. I imagine your grandma was turning in her grave over her family's heirloom being given to essentially a stranger. Ultimately, it should go to the kid who actually cares about its meaning and history, not to be thrown away as a tool to appease people who might see it as only another object. This is how traditions are lost, even when the kids are full blood. A piece of paper saying they're married tied the family together, not that necklace. It should be yours because you care enough to take care of it and can pass it on to your kid, who's just as competent. Your stepsister didn't grow up with you or know your grandma. She may be your dad's daughter, but she wasn't your grandma's grandchild. I wouldn't give it back. You better hide it, though. They'll try to steal it back. And if your dad is spiteful, he could disown you, so be prepared to support yourself. I'm more concerned that they'll report it stolen. OP, I'm so sorry that this happened. If the necklace's design isn't too complicated, I would personally take it to a jeweler and ask them to create a cheap version of it, then send the cheap version back to try and keep the piece. My female teen, parents aren't together, so my brother Luke, younger teen, and I go back and forth between houses. My dad is a decent dad for the most part, but he dates all these women and insists she's the one every time. Honestly, when we were kids, Luke and I liked the first couple, but then it got old. He always insists, she's the one, it's different this time. But they're usually gone in a year and a half, max. Dad's been with Amanda for 6 to 8 months, I think. She has a daughter, Peggy, that's a tween. Amanda is French or lived in France, not sure which, but she doesn't really have an accent. She speaks French to Peggy frequently. She wants to know the language. Makes sense. Honestly, when I was a freshman, I wanted to take French instead of Spanish, but my dad insisted Luke and I both take Spanish because we'd use it more. So I had Spanish freshman and sophomore year. Amanda and Peggy do this thing. It irritates me so much. Amanda will randomly start speaking French to Peggy whenever we're all having a conversation at dinner or whatever. It's like she's cutting all of us out of the conversation. We all have to wait for them to finish because my dad ignores us until they're done. One time we were trying to pick a movie to watch. We were all talking about our choices. Then Amanda and Peggy conversed in French, and Amanda told my dad what they wanted to watch, so we watched that. The point is, it's not just them talking amongst themselves or Amanda telling Peggy to do her homework or something. Luke and I talked to my dad and he said, they're not that bad. We said that they were, and it's annoying. I think Amanda does it because we don't speak French. He said, well, if you want to know what they're saying, learn French. I said, no, I already have my foreign language requirement to graduate. He said it never hurts to learn another, and they're going to be around for a while. Sure, Jan. My dad only speaks English for the record. So, anyway, Luke knows some Spanish. Yesterday at dinner, Amanda and Peggy were doing their BS. When they got done, I looked at Luke and started saying random stuff. Complete gibberish, but he's only a few weeks in Spanish 1. I wanted him to get the hint, and he did. We chat and kind of laugh. My dad asked what we were doing. I said, oh, I'm just speaking Spanish to my brother, so he'll remember it. When my dad was driving us home, he lectured us, me, and said that I was making fun of Amanda, which was rude, that she's genuinely helping Peggy remember French, and we mocked her. I said, I don't care that she speaks French, but she doesn't have to do it mid-conversation with us. If she doesn't want it done to her, she shouldn't do it. He said I was being immature, and he expected me to apologize to them. She does this constantly, and Dad just thinks we're supposed to sit and wait for them. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. In a group setting, it's common decency to include everyone in the conversation and not have side conversations in another language that everyone else at the table doesn't understand. If they want to practice their French, they can do it when you're not there. It's rude to talk in front of you knowing you don't understand. And your dad is the idiot for not standing up to his newest woman and telling her that she can't talk French when sharing a meal with you and your brother. Oh, he knows he's the idiot. He just cares about getting his current intimacy in before the next one comes along. My brother and I speak English and Greek, and we only switched to Greek at the dinner table when we wanted to make fun of something because we knew that the others didn't understand a word. I will bet my last $10 they were talking crap about you all in French. You can speak Spanish if you want. It shouldn't be a problem because they speak French. It's good to pay it back, the same treatment y'all are getting from them. Screw them. Keep speaking Spanish till they feel that they're being left out. This is the politest and least confrontational way you could have made your point. My female 35, daughter Natty, pre-tween, started a new school. We moved from one coast to another and had some adjusting to do. When she started school, her teacher gave us a list of supplies she needed, like 24 packs of crayons, 300 pencils, etc. I don't remember exact numbers, these are examples, but it was quite a lot. I got everything from the list. The school is located in an excellent district, and most parents are well off, as far as I know. Most parents have bought everything on the list, so you'd think that it was done and dusted, but no. We're a month in, and Natty just brought home a new list, which lists the same supplies in large quantities. I thought it might have been a mistake, and messaged other mothers in our group chat, and they were as surprised as I was. However, the list was confirmed by an email from the teacher, asking us to bring the supplies in as soon as possible, and that the list will be supplied to us every 4 to 6 weeks. I know that kids go through a lot of supplies, but not this many. It was all very odd. I tried to snoop a little and find the teacher on Facebook, but I couldn't find her. However, when my friend came over, she could locate her. It seems the teacher blocked all the parents on Facebook. It turns out the teacher is selling supplies, crayons, etc. on the marketplace, and she even had a page and link to her website. To say that I was shocked would be an understatement. She's asking the parents to buy extra supplies, and then she resells it. What other reason does she have to require over 400 packs of crayons every 4 to 6 weeks? As I said, most parents supplied everything on the supply list. I've kept it to myself because I'm unsure of what to do, but I am considering reporting the teacher to the school so that they can properly investigate. I thought it was the right thing to do, but my sister-in-law is a teacher, and she told me I'd be the idiot if I were to do that because kids go through a lot of supplies, and there's no way the teacher resells them. It's probably a coincidence, but I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. I haven't told the other parents about my suspicions because I don't want to start a witch hunt before the school can investigate. But would I be the idiot for reporting her? She's stealing from your child and the other children in her class. She's taking advantage. Speaking as a former teacher, this is disgusting and outrageous. Get her fired. Go straight to the principal and take it to the school board if he doesn't fire her. The teachers' union will not protect her on this. Absolutely not the idiot. This 100%. I'm not a teacher, but I have a lot of teacher friends and thought this was going to be one of those the teacher puts all the supplies into a communal pot for the school year type situations. But taking them and reselling them? That is wild. OP, report her, and don't let the fallout of her actions trouble you one bit. I would request a meeting with school officials and tell them discretion is a must and bring evidence of her reselling on the marketplace. You already saved her butt. You haven't bought on the marketplace reselling to the attention of the other parents so as not to cause an undue attack on said teacher. But you are sure they'd feel the same way as they also find the new supply list every 4 to 6 weeks? Ridiculous.